Welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where in this video we are going to unbox and check out the features of the Gamerz Tek Minigen HD. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions, and I know, brace yourselves, Nintendo fanboy doing content on a Sega system. Blowing your mind, I'm getting that already. But that's one of the things that's been going on in recent years is the fact that you can get Nintendo clones and Super Nintendo clones pretty much anywhere now. There's dozens of manufacturers that are making these systems and now making them with an HDMI output. But the Genesis and Megadrive crowd, they've kind of been left behind. Well, that is where Gamerz Tek is here to help you guys out. This is the Gamerz Tek Minigen HD, and it's an update to their existing Minigen platform. What this does is it upscales everything to 720p and has an HDMI output on it. Very cool there. Now, on the Minigen HD, you're going to be able to find these for about $45. I'll have a link down below to where, if you want, you can actually order it from Amazon, and if you order through that link, it actually helps support the channel as well. One of the things that Gamerz Tek is really promising on this system is that it will have better game compatibility compared to other systems that are out there. Part of the reason they can claim that, theoretically, is the fact this is not an emulation-based piece of hardware. It reads the cartridges directly and essentially is duplicating or cloning an actual Genesis. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take it, we're going to pull it out of the box, and we're going to see everything that comes with it. I do want to thank Gamerz Tek for sending along this sample for review. I'm really excited to check this out. The Gamerz Tek Minigen HD basically is almost looks to be the size of a Genesis 3. Really, we'll dive in the box in a second. Inside the box, we're going to find the console, 2 control pads, power adapter, HD cable. Again, I'm sure they mean HDMI cable. Compatible with Genesis and Megadrive games. On the back, you've got just a little kind of outline of how you would connect everything up. What it includes, again, control deck, 2 controllers, software sold separately. That's your cartridges. Micro USB power cable and an HD cable. One thing, your HD TV will cause a delay when playing retro style games. It's not the controller or the system, it's your modern TV. Make sure that to reduce the input lag caused by your HD TV, make sure you turn on your TV's game mode. That's important to have on here. One other thing that they do outline here is, unfortunately, older systems save directly onto the cartridge, not the console. So if you do have older games that have battery backups and those batteries have died, it will not save directly onto the system itself. Just the way older systems were. Very similar plastic tray to some of Gamerz Tek's other systems that we've tested out here on the channel. Let's pull out the hardware itself. This is the Minigen. My goodness, that thing is tiny. And inside there's the instruction manual. And of note, thank you for your purchase. Your system includes a 2-year exchange warranty, so if you ever have any issues, make sure that you contact service@gamerztek.com. They're really awesome to deal with. I'm going to slide that tray aside for a second, and let's look at the hardware itself. This is basically very similar to their original Minigen, very similar in size and style. Your power switch just slides one way or the other. LED to indicate power. Here's your reset button on the back. You do have, there's your DC input in, that's micro USB. Thank you. You have your AV output here if you do want to connect to an older CRT. OJ, I'm sure that's probably NTSC, or, well, we'll check the manual in a second. And 4x3 or 16x9, and your HD output on the back. And your model number, the Z7 on the bottom. Now, just for comparison, I have my Model 1 Genesis right there. That's basically how much smaller the Gamerz Tek Minigen HD is. It's teeny, teeny, teeny tiny. And let's look at the rest of the contents of the package. You do have a more traditional 6-button style controller. It is actually a pretty decent size. Some of the other ones that I've used more recently have felt a little bit small, especially ones that are included with other systems. This looks to be very similar to the size of the original 6-button. It does have your mode button here for the 2 or 3 games that used it. The D-pad feels decent. I mean, this design reminds me of the yoke controller for the Super NES Classic Edition, where instead of having a D-pad, it's more of a rocker switch, and there's just a center pivot that everything goes around there. So interesting. Your start button, you do have the little dimple on B so you can feel your way around. I can see this being a decent controller for playing like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter with. It doesn't feel terrible. And thankfully they do include 2 controllers. You do have your composite video cable in the box, your micro USB cable for providing power, your wall wart, and this is a 5-volt 1 amp, so not a whole lot of current requirement there. And an HDMI cable. This looks to be about 3 or 4 feet long, so very normal fare as far as what Gamerz Tek normally includes in the box that comes with the Minigen HD, and that's a good thing. The overall package and fit and finish is very, very good. Now, one thing I do want to check out here is how do games actually go into the system. I've got my copy of Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. It's a tight fit, but not a death grip. What happened there is, and I'll show this to you, because I pulled it out at an angle, this notch got stuck on there, so it's important that you pull, and part of it is because I'm sitting off to the side, you want to pull straight up to pull the game out. Sonic 3 again, goes in, nice solid pop, comes out. Looking at the pins, they look pretty solid and decent. No major issues that pop out at me right there. I mean, there's not much to these systems. A lot of them are a system on a chip. This is hardware based too. It's not emulation based. So everything basically is going to run directly off of your cartridge right there. So it's important that you have good, clean working cartridges to work with a system such as this. So there you have it, our initial unboxing of the Gamerz Tek Minigen HD. And to answer one of the earliest questions people are going to ask, this is Sonic 3 and Knuckles playing in the system connected right now down below. So yes, it will play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That is great news to hear. I know that's one of the biggest complaints that people have about some of the other clone systems out there is the fact that you can't play Sonic and Knuckles, and this one you can. For $44.99 MSRP, the link will be down below if you do want to order one. If you do order one using that link, it actually does help the channel. Another thing that helps the channel is if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way, anytime we do come out with new content, like when we do our full-blown review of the system, you'll be kept up to date with when those videos go live. The easiest way to keep up to date is also if you hit that bell notification icon. That way, each and every time that we do upload a new video, you are notified and kept the most up to date. If you do have any comments or questions, things you want us to cover in the full-blown review, again, we're addressing one right here. Sonic 3 and Knuckles works just fine. Leave comments down below here. You can also email me your questions at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. You can send me your questions on Twitter at RockSolidStudios, or the conversation is always rolling over on our Facebook page, facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. Finally, if you want, for as little as $1 a month, you can help support the future of Rock Solid Productions too by joining us over on our Patreon page, patreon.com/rocksolid. And for, like I mentioned, as little as $1 a month, you get early access to our videos, exclusive content, conversations with me that I kind of ask what people are thinking, what's going on, and more. So go ahead and, like I mentioned, for just $1 a month over on our Patreon page, you can help support the future of Rock Solid Productions. Everything that is raised through there goes right back into the channel so we can get new equipment, new games to try to make things better so you guys have the best content out there possible. The Gamerz Tek Minigen HD so far, pretty impressed with it. This is one of the big stumbling blocks for a lot of other systems. I'm sure that there are others that we want to make sure, will it do? Does it actually play in stereo? Is there a way, everything right now is in 16:9. Will it do 4:3? Things along those lines we're going to try to tackle in the full-blown review. Make sure you come back and see us. I am Gary, this is Rock Solid Productions, and I will see you soon.